So we are here with UJFALUSSY SZABOLCS from the Disznókő winery. How do you see the Disznókő legacy? It is a very famous and one of the most important wineries in the Hungarian and especially in the Tokaj wine region. What do you feel as a legacy for this winery?
It's a very special place, Disznókő itself, which originates back, at least the name, the oldest document we can read, Disznókő dates back to the 1413. We also have a wine named after this special dates, but in the period, Disznókő became very important because after World War II, between 1948 and 1990s, it was the monopoly of the state to produce the wines of the country. Each wine region had one producer, so it would be crazy to imagine. And Disznókő was one of the first with an international background and very good knowledge, people from different wine regions of the world, some with lots of experience with sweet wine, and we try to put together our history, our tradition, which includes the grape variety, the way of the production and everything, and to let's say modernize a little bit. So I could say that Disznókő is one of the trendsetter winery, started in 1992, and we still try to take this legacy and to keep it, but at the same time keep improving. And what makes us really happy that there are now not dozens but hundreds of wineries really could change from the style and the way the wines were produced in the 1960s, 70s, 80s. So I feel very proud to be part of the Disznókő, which has this kind of historical role, not only of 600 years ago, but also of the last 30 years. And of course, like everybody else, we try to keep improving, find the best way to make really unique and special wines.
Well, that is an amazing story, and it's so admirable to keep a story going for so long. Obviously, we are at the Furmint February event. How do you see the evolution of the Furmint grape variety? What are the challenges nowadays with growing Furmint wines, and what is the role of Furmint in the Tokaj region?
So it's a good question, and if you asked 20 years ago, probably each producer would say totally different visions and ideas. So Furmint is an indigenous grapes. We consider it as an indigenous grapes of Hungary, and most of it 20 years ago, probably over 90% was planted only in the Tokaj region. And the Tokaj region was famous. Nobody wanted to make a bottle of dry wine over 500 plus, roughly 500 years. Everybody wanted to make only sweet wines. And I'm sure that Furmint became the dominant grape in Tokaj because I believe you can make the best sweet wines of the world using Furmint. But if you go around now on this event, probably 70, maybe even over 80% of the wines will be dry. So 20 years ago, it was a big question if Furmint is suitable to make an interesting dry wine, because it represents a big proportion of the Tokaj region, and even Tokaj is considered to be a larger region, but it still means at the end not tens of millions of bottles. So it's still kind of a little bit a niche, but the market's changed over the last 20, 30 years. People look for the local things, tourists. Instead of trying a Hungarian Chardonnay, they prefer to try some local authentic grapes, so it helped a lot. The wine improved amazing. The biggest improvement of the last 10 years in Tokaj was no doubt in the field of the dry wine. And it's really, I think there is a future. We won't be the next Chardonnay, but we can be a good alternative, especially as Furmint works very well with different foods. It's really, I believe in not only in the sweet but in the dry version as well.
I totally agree. Actually, for the dry Furmint is one of my favorite dry wines. Maybe I'm a bit too close to it, but it really has potential. And how do you see the market trends? How does the market react to the dry Furmint, and how does the evolution of the Asus and Essencias change? Is the trend growing or is it stagnating with the sweeter varieties?
I would say generally for the unique special sweet wine, the market is stabilized, but as there are new new countries, new regions start to open toward wines, especially in Asia. Also, the North America, US, Canada is big market. There are many people. So instead of probably what was typical 50 years ago, that the majority of the wine consumption came from traditional wine producing countries, and an older generation usually drank the same wine from one day to the other, or even throughout decades. Now younger generation look for always something new. They really love to taste a new continent, something from another continent, another variety, and it really can help, but it means it needs much more work. We have to go more places, introduce the wine, explain everything, how we make it. And so it's more challenge, more work, but I think it's in overall, I still see not only for the dry, but for the sweet wine potential, but it won't be easy.
It's an exciting balance, because, as you said, people want to try different wineries, different regions all the time, which means great opportunity to wineries to reach new markets, but also it's a loss, because if the people try to drink all the time a new different wine, there is maybe less loyalty to wineries. So that could be the other side of the coin.
One bar works with the ferment in February, the other maybe in March. So it's not easy, but there are so many wines and so many options that generally speaking, the last after COVID was a difficult period, because most of our wines, or a big proportion, is sold on the on-trade, wine bars, restaurants, and they were closed for a longer period, for a year or more, depend on the country. But now is really, we see that it's back again, and we believe we can improve the sales in many areas.
Amazing. So you would say that you are optimistic about the ferment and ferment's place in Tokaj?
Yes, what I said, we have to work a lot, and maybe more than in the past, but you also can see the niche, the places where there is room to improve, and we have to find it. It's not easy, but we are on it.
Amazing. Thank you for this interview. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for tasting your wines, and enjoy the event.
My pleasure.